Welcome back, you guys. I am gonna have to immediately say, excuse the little stand here that you can see. It's my tripod, and today I'm trying to use my EOS Rebel SL2 because it's just easier to set up than my phone, and the screen is super handy. So anyway, I am going to use my Leuchtturm 1917 dotted in silver, which, by the way, can we really quickly just... From some videos I've seen that the font is different on the numbers, which is really cool because I like both. Like, this one's really cool. I don't mind it. But here's the thing. I feel like the grid on my Leuchtturm has been moved up, and I don't know if that is a mistake or if it is the actual design. And let me try to zoom you in and show you what I'm talking about. So when you zoom in here to the very bottom of the page, you can see that there is a pretty wide space, right? Like blank. Do you see here? Like, look, this is about also, excuse my nails, I'll do those, I promise. So there's like less than a finger here, and this one is an entire finger almost, right? So I would just like to know if anyone else that has the anniversary edition, or maybe specifically the silver one, if this is something that you have found on your Leuchtturm as well. I don't really mind it because it has the same amount of dots all around, except for, I think it was the width. Yeah, it has 27 instead of 26, and it does have 38 going down. Like we were saying, Leuchtturm 1917 in dotted. I love these. My current one is almost ready to be finished. I started January on this one. I decided to mess around with some brush pens here. So I have Thank You 2017 because even though it was an immensely crazy year, I feel like any time that something bad happens, when you have the chance to look back at it, you can realize the lessons you have learned from that and use them for the future, you know? So that's one lesson that I have learned from 2017. If I want to complain more about something, maybe first I should do something about it and then see if I feel the same way, right? Only positive things can come from that, at least I hope. Anyway, so that's that. Thank you, 2017. And then here I have Let's Do This 2018. And I decided, I forget how I decided this, but I think it was through the Boho Berry December challenge. I decided on my word of the year. And I've never had a word of the year. At least I don't think so formally. So this is it. It's going to be achieve. I want to achieve things. I want to achieve my goals. I want to achieve my dreams. I want to achieve what I set my mind to achieve. And then I started January right here. My usual, except that I just narrowed it down to one page instead of two. I have my usual log here. I have my weekly tracker here for housework, and I have some trackers here, and I included the walk crazies. By the way, crazies are my dogs. I call them crazies. One of them is actually ringing the bell right now, so gotta go let her out. Anyway, in a text message. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then, I'm so sorry, but I won't be able to show you the next page because it is my budgeting spread that I'm going to be adding to my monthlies. And what I will try to do, if I do want to show you it, is to show you the spread before I fill it out. So we skip a few pages. And then, I was completely out of touch with my planner for the first, second, and almost 3rd of January, so I didn't really have a spread set up or anything. I was trying to set up my January in general, and once I got back to everything, I decided to do these 3, which is just like some sort of dailies. I have my Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, because I just wanted to use this page, not 2. And that helped me out, keep my things organized for that. And then we moved on to week 2. I have a sort of running list here, super tiny one. I have the month here because I've really enjoyed having the month to show what week we're on. And then I move on to my daily, especially if I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of work. And that's what I have here. As you can see, you guys, I really enjoyed this format, so I went ahead and copied it for this one, except that I moved the month to the side. And I didn't want to completely box it off, because when I was planning it out and I only did this line, I liked the way it felt and the way it looked, so that's how I kept it. That brings me here to Sunday, where I am on page 236. I probably will do one more week here or so, and then it will be time to move on to my new bullet journal. While I do that, I have been setting this one up. I'm taking my time because to me, this whole planning thing, this whole bullet journaling thing is kind of like a relaxing time for me. It's somewhat of a me time. I empty out my brain of all the endless to-do lists and just let my brain breathe. So the index is slightly different on this one. This is the anniversary collection, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it's called, but this is what the index looks like on the other one. I like both of them, I really do. Some people don't even use it. As you can see, I already have pages 1 through, oh man, you guys, I wrote 25 and it's supposed to be 35. This is what I get for trying to work on this late at night, but no big deal. After the index, I decided to skip the key page. I think it's very common for a bullet journal to have the key on the very first page that has all your signifiers, because this is supposed to be a rapid log method. So these little symbols are supposed to help you write everything down super quickly without even thinking about where you're putting it, and just like immediately look at it and know what it is, know what to do with it. I have actually changed mine throughout the year. However, in my mind, I already know what all those signifiers are. I found that I was never referring back to this page, so I decided to not do that. I didn't give it much thought to what I was going to do with it. It just kind of happened, and it became very appropriately my cover page for 2018. I cut this up from a wall calendar that I bought from Paper Source. It was by Rifle & Co., I believe, and I still need to do this, which is my word of the year. Achieve, again, is going to be super simple, just like you saw it in my previous bullet journal. And here, very appropriately as well, decided to add 4 main goals for the year 2018. So maybe I'll pick like one that's personal, one that's financial, one that's career-wise, and one that it's just for fun. I don't know, but something like that. And then here, so you can appreciate a little bit more of the detail on this and the reason that I decided to cut it out. It's super cute. Anyway, that's the word of the year. And then I have my check marks right there. Here I have 10 of them because I want to make it a goal to visit 10 new places this year. And they don't have to be countries. Like, there are so many areas in my own city that I have not been to. Ideally, it will be a country, like different countries. But I don't know if I can do that this year. So that's gonna go there. And what I'm gonna do is take a break because my dog really wants to go outside apparently. So hold on. All right, I am back and you never noticed I was gone. So after this is on page 2, my Calendex, which I have really, really enjoyed using this past year, that I didn't even use from the beginning of the year because I was on a different bullet journal before my previous Leuchtturm. So bam, here is 2017's Calendex, at least from March until December. This spread completely surprised me because I didn't think that I was going to use it at all. I just kind of did it because I had time to mess around with this, and I'm like, well, let's just try it out, see if I even use it, and if I don't, it's no big deal. Turns out, you guys, as you can tell, I used it a whole lot and it was a lot of fun. So I went ahead and moved it, or I should say also started a Calendex on my new bullet journal for 2018. And this time I decided to add the weeks. Now, I can't remember where I saw this, but if you did this as well on your bullet journal Calendex, let me know, because for some reason I have been having this weird obsession with knowing the weeks, like what week we're on. Never really cared about that before last year, so that's that. And another thing is that I am keeping everything fairly simple, just a black pen, not much decoration or anything like that. And then we move on to my future log. I'm trying something new this year. For this year, I made a note over here. I was messing around in this notebook how I was going to plan my new bullet journal, and Nope, not there, but at least you guys got to see that. Okay, so here, I have some to try layouts that these are all from Planning with Kay. I joked, but I think I will do it. I joked in one of her videos saying that I'm thinking about just making a spread, all the ideas from her that I want to try on my bullet journal. I guess I also did a note of doing the future log on using one whole page per month and dividing it into business and personal. But I couldn't find that note at the time that I did this, and all I remember was, oh, Diana, you want to do one whole page for a month, and that's all I remember. So, again, that wall calendar from Paper Source or Rifle and Co, I think it is. Rifle Paper and Co. But I did buy it at Paper Source. Anyway, it had on the back like picture of all the months, like how they would look. And I just thought they were super pretty. I wanted to use them. I didn't want to throw them away because I was like, that's more beautiful than anything I will be able to draw if I decide to draw something. So I decided to cut them up, and I thought the size was quite perfect to just put them on my bullet journal. And that's exactly what I did. In my last bullet journal, this is what it looked like. And the days here, and what I did was alternate because I didn't want it all to bunch up on one section. Like if I had glued all of these up top, like probably at this section you would be able to see a little bit of like thickness of my pages, and I didn't want that. So what I did is I just alternated when like this, and yeah. So I have 12 pages for all 12 months, even though I do not think that I will be in this bullet journal for an entire year, although that would be cool, but I don't think that will happen. I like to have the option, because another thing that I do want to mention is that this past year, at least for the past, 5 months maybe, I have messed around with having 3 planners. Saw girls doing it. I thought I could do it too. So I tried it and I stuck with it, but it was very hard. Here, I will show you guys. I had this Inkwell Press monthly that I was using strictly for budgeting. And then, because I couldn't resist somehow, I got this Erin Condren hourly that I was using strictly for work. So it's been a little hard. I mean, this one in my bullet journal have been used the most for sure, because there were just things that I needed to write down that didn't really fit on my bullet journal. I'm moving everything to this bullet journal. That's my goal. At the most, I will continue using this Erin Condren until, July, because that's when this is over. And then I just want to have everything here, nowhere else. So after the future log, we move on to these spreads, and one of them is books to read and a wish list. I went ahead and I divided this one page into both because, being honest with you, I did try having an entire books to read in the other one. Okay, so here I have an entire page for the wish list, right? And this year I found the documentary The Minimalists, and I was following their podcast, and with all that in mind, I was thinking to myself, do I really need an entire page to just think of all the things that I want? And maybe they're not things, maybe they're just apps, maybe they're softwares, because I'm into stuff like that. I said, you know what? No, I pretty much keep my writing super small, so I think the half a page will do just fine. And another thing that I was a little bit more realistic with myself was the books to read, because even though I love reading, I don't do it as often as I would like. So with that said, again, I figured there's no need in me having an entire page. I'll be able to manage with half a page. And that's exactly what I did. So one page for my wish list and books to read. And then this page is going to be my home projects. I have some home projects that I already detailed on my Inkwell Press because that was my budgeting planner, and I will be moving those to here. These are mainly for home projects that I have done since this is the first house that we own. I want to make sure what type of investment we've made on it, what things we have improved and how much it costs and when we did it. So that's what this is going to be for. And also to make note of the projects that I want to do in the future. And maybe I can start saving up for them and see if it's worth the investment and all that good stuff. Now, give me a second, because now my dog wants to come back in and I think the other one wants to go back out. This is my life, guys. The doorman of my dogs. Be right back. And I'm back. So after the home projects, we have 2 blank pages because I'm debating on just filling this up with sticky notes that have information about work. And it's a lot of information that is most likely to change. So I don't really want to make it on a spread permanently and then have to make another spread because it has new information and all that stuff. Then we move on to my timeline and achievements. In my previous bullet journal, I did have a my timeline, but I kind of forgot about it. But I really like the idea of, you know, when I was actually using it. So I decided to move it to this bullet journal as well. And I decided to add my achievements because I have noticed that when I think about, what have my achievements been? I don't really know. I'm not really a person to recognize something really cool or really awesome or really fun or really important that I have done. I will recognize it at the moment and then I will completely forget about it. You will ask me, hey, when did this happen? I will not be able to tell you when. So that is the purpose of this page, is to strictly be able to note my achievements, whatever they may be, and I will look back at them and be amazingly proud of myself. The next page is, you guessed it, no, you probably didn't, but it is a very popular page that I have seen all over the place on Instagram and on Pinterest and on YouTube and all the setups, and it's really cool. Some people are using it exactly for the thing that, you know, it is, like your mood tracker. Others are making it into awesome different trackers, like Llama's Love Lettering. She's making it into a pain tracker. So, oh, and I've seen also like a weather tracker. That's really cool. This is going to be my mood in pixels 2018. That's what this is going to be. I kind of have it set up. I would already pick the colors. I'm not 100% on this. So what I'm doing is I'm giving it a few days until I finish setting this up, because as you can see here, I added one and I'm thinking of adding another one. And then here I have, when did I last? I love the spread in my previous bullet journal where I keep track of certain things that they do need to be done quite often, but not enough where you can put them in your monthlies or your weeklies, nowhere near close your dailies. So that's what this is. Super simple spread, followed by my car info and maintenance, because I really need to take good care of my car and I want to make sure that I know all the services that I'm doing for it, and when I took it to get washed, and when I took it to get it oil changed on. Or you know what, I seem to have an issue with tires. Like, I have changed my tires at least, I'm gonna say 4 times in my car. That's not all 4 at the same time, it's just different things have happened. So yeah, see, those are things that I need to note here, because I have lost count of which tire is new and when I bought it. So that's that I will be moving from my car records as well as my actual previous spread for this. This one is a fun one, it's my must pack. I do tend to go quite often to DC, and my previous packing list has become so handy when it's time for me to pack, because I hate packing. And especially when it's like just a week trip and I just don't want to think about the things that I have to do because I'm already doing so much work here, that this list helps me not forget anything and I don't have to constantly go over it in my mind. I have it right here. And what I will be adding, as this post-it says, is a 3-day trip packing list, because I ended up adding it on my previous bullet journal at a different point in my bullet journal, because you can do that. But here I'll be putting them together. It'll be like just a general packing and then like a weekend packing list. And then this is another super exciting spread, at least for me. God, this is how you know you're like practically an adult. A cleaning chart. I'm excited to use this. I've kind of like grabbed this from different versions that I have seen on Pinterest and Instagram and applied it a little bit to what we do around the house. Here are the months, and this is the stuff that you do monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. So that's that. I'm hoping to have a lot of this checked out by the end of the year, or at least halfway through the year, you know? And then here I have my daily, weekly, and bi-weekly, because sometimes I just like to not do anything when I could be taking advantage of that free time to do some cleaning that my house very much needs, especially with these two crazy dogs. And then this one is another super fun spread that I never got around to finishing on my previous bullet journal. And by finishing it, I mean I actually just drafted it with pencil and that's it. That's where it stayed. Pretty simple. The crystals that I have, where I found them, or more like where I bought them, but I just like the word found more. Some keywords that go with that crystal, and then I'm planning on having a key of the chakras here, so that way I can highlight each crystal to know what chakras that crystal can be used for. I'm entirely new to this whole thing, so I am very much a newbie, like I just said, but I am having a lot of fun with it, and it has been extremely, extremely helpful. And then to the next page, New Year traditions. I actually love this spread. It's very simple, very straight to the point. On my first bullet journal, I made it super pretty. On the last one, it was very in a hurry, all pen, zero prettiness to it. So this year, I really want to make sure that it's somewhat decent looking. And it's something that I always look up at the end of the year, and that's why I figured I make it into a spread, because I don't want to have to look through all these different blogs and websites and Pinterest to, oh, what was this tradition? I remember halfway, but not this way. I didn't know what it was. It's all gonna be here. And then the one that I am most excited about, at least if you saw my Instagram story, today, Tuesday, January 9th. I don't know when I'm gonna post this video. So this one right here, like I said, I want to get rid of the extra planner that I have, which was 3 of them, one for my budget. To get rid of that, I'm moving it here. I'm very excited, and I'm also a little bit nervous because it's a lot of information that I want to keep track of, and that I've realized that I need to keep track of in order to have a good budget, at least for myself. Pretty straightforward is going to be the income that we have and the money that goes out. That's what this is going to be. That's it. It's just that graph for the entire year. These are the months again. And how I'm going to fill this out is because I am keeping track of this in my monthlies. That's the thing that I couldn't show you in my January spread. So next is a bill tracker. I saw this on Pinterest. So if you are the one who did this, or you have one like this, or you know where it's from, please let me know. I think it's an awesome page. I adapted it a little bit to my utilities. So I have Dominion, Virginia Beach Utilities, HRSD, and then I decided to add car and fuel because we do have 2 cars, but we mainly use my husband's, and mine I only use when I go to DC if I decide to drive by myself and stuff like that. So this is gonna be looking super awesome at the end of the year. Is anyone else obsessed with trackers? And then another tracker, my debt tracker. I am happy to say that we have been working very hard at chipping away to all our debt because we're just trying to get rid of it. So as of this moment, we have 2 main debts that we are trying to get rid of, and that is my student loans and my husband's credit card. So I am going to be tracking monthly the balance of these. And as I do that, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to watch that thing go all the way down. Way down. Because this is 1,000. So it's going to go like all the way down here. Just kidding. I probably won't be in this bullet journal when it does that. I'm super excited about this page. We'll see how it turns out. This one again is pretty straightforward. What I will be doing with this page is tracking my savings. Because paying off our debt is the main priority, I am not too worried about doing this. So this is going to be like something that I'm going to be putting away for, but it's not my main goal. I just want to get rid of my debt. So that way in the future, I have more money to use for the things that I really want to do. But there are 2 main ones here. One is Las Vegas because my husband and our friends, we want to go to Las Vegas this year. So I just completely random estimate that I did on like one research, we would need 2,000 for that trip, and that's exaggerating. And then another one is because I will turn 30 this year, so I would like to have $2,000 to travel somewhere. Either that or just buy whatever I want with those $2,000. Most likely, a plane ticket to go somewhere. And then finally, oopsie, wrong one. I have another tracker because you guys, like I said, I'm obsessed with trackers. And this one is for my dogs. I'm super excited about this one because first things first, Lily and Penny, my two boxers, like you heard, I call them crazies because they are insane. Lovingly insane. Anyway, so Lily and Penny, Lily, she has a ton of allergies, a ton of allergies. And usually she's always on some kind of medication. When she's not, she's usually not feeling the greatest, and it's just like a roller coaster. It's up and down with her. So I want to be able to keep track of how often throughout the year she has gone to the vet, how often has she had to take baths, because there are times where we are scheduled to give her a bath every other day. And on the opposite end, we have Penny, who needs like one bath a month if it's winter, and like 2 to 3 baths a month if it's spring and summer. So, you know, those are the things, but she still needs to get her ears clean, and she still needs to go to the vet if she has any vaccines due and stuff like that. So I have the months here that I decided to use numbers for instead of letters, and then I have the days here. And I decided to do some symbols for it, like a key. I was thinking long and hard. I'm like, how can I track all this stuff in just this one page? And I decided to go with this. It will be very rare that I have to do all of these during the same day. I'm kind of banking on that. So we'll see how it works out. It might be a disaster. It might be awesome. We will see. But you guys, that is it. That is all I have. Here, I will probably just go ahead, if I'm still in January, which I probably will be by the time that I need to move to this bullet journal, I will probably just go ahead and copy my monthly here. And then, you know, just my weeklies and do all that good stuff. And that's it. I will continue to do all the notes that I need to do whenever I need to take notes or spreads, because that's the amazing thing about a bullet journal. You can be in the middle of here and suddenly there's a spread that you want to try out, so you just go ahead and do it. My goal really is to have this book with me at all times everywhere I go. But we are done, guys. That is it. And I will see you guys on the next one. I want to upload more videos this year, be a little bit more organized in that sense. Prioritize this channel a little bit more because I really do enjoy the entire planner community, whether it's Erin Condren's or Happy Planners or bullet journals or all the planners. I enjoy every single video. So guys, have an amazing 2018. Thank you so much for being subscribed. If you want to see more bullet journal things, please make sure you subscribe. And if you can, give this a like, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.